Wowzers, that's good.
I'm Matthew Horkey. For the last 7 years, I've traveled around the world tasting thousands of wines annually in search of the most unique, exciting, and expensive bottles on the planet. Mount Etna is one of the hottest regions in Italy. With vines planted on top of the tallest active volcano in Europe, Mount Etna is where all the action is. You have producers from Tuscany, from Piedmont, from abroad coming down, buying property and trying to make great wine. Even the legendary Gaia has just started an estate there. Red wines there are made of Nerello Mascalese or Nerello Cappuccio. Nerello Mascalese really brings a lot of the flavor, those haunting perfume notes, a little bit of florality, while Nerello Cappuccio brings some tannin, some spice, and some color to the blend. Because of this, Etna's got the moniker as the Burgundy of the Mediterranean. They're usually field blends, and Nerello Mascalese is thought of to be the higher quality variety of the two. I remember the first time I had an Etna Rosso. It was a Tunete de Fessina. It was an Etna Rosso Reserva. It was in Singapore, and that wine was so hauntingly beautiful. I remember buying 2 cases of it and finishing it just like that. Mount Etna goes over 3,000 meters, well over 10,000 feet. It's all black volcanic soil. I've been there 3 times. In fact, I have a vlog coming up on Mount Etna. It's just a lot of footage. It's taken me a lot of time to edit, so just stay calm, okay? When you go up on Mount Etna, there's a lot of abandoned villas. They're all made out of black volcanic stone. Even some of the main streets of the villages are all black volcanic rock. Really magical, almost kind of an eerie place. A lot of vines are Albarello or just vertical plantings. Almost looks like the Rhone, so to speak. Lots of old vines. I've been up to vineyards that were up to 1,300 meters in elevation. You look off to the east, you can still see the Ionian Sea. You know, the reflection off the sea gives vines more sun, so the grapes are always sure to get properly ripened, even in those nice cool temperatures. In terms of wine regions, it's one of the most eerie, magical places I've ever been. Something to be said when you're sitting there tasting wine and you're looking up and seeing a smoking volcano. Burgundy, on the other hand, is Burgundy. I have to say, I don't claim myself to be a Burgundy expert. I think there are so few out there, actually. It's such a rare wine. They are so expensive and very sought after. What makes Burgundy special to wine geeks is all the attention and care monks gave over hundreds of years to identify which plots of land give the best wines. That's why you're going to have Premier Cru and then Grand Cru. Those are like the greatest sites for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Burgundy is really like the end game for wine drinkers, wine writers, collectors in terms of enjoyment, collectability, scarcity, and knowledge. I actually have a Pommard here today, and I had to go and ask an expert. So I asked my friend, Robin Kick, who's a master of wine. She enlightened me that in the past, Pommard wines were a little bit harder wines that really needed some aging, although now with modern technology, with improved winemaking, producers are making softer Pommard. Château de Pommard sits in a Clos, this vineyard that's a monopole. It owns the entire vineyard, the entire Clos. I think it's called the Marey Monge. I have actually been there before. I drove past it. It's a really beautiful old estate. Recently, an American from Silicon Valley went in and invested and bought the property and has really raised the winemaking standards. Employees has raised the quality. I don't have a lot of history with these wines. I know some of you have, so if you do, drop it in the comments below. I do know that overall, people are impressed as quality has risen since investment has come in. So first of all, we have the Donnafugata, one of the iconic families of Sicily. This is the Sul Volcano, Etna Rosso DOC 2019. This is mostly Nerello Mascalese with a little Nerello Cappuccio. This is Donnafugata's new project. Donnafugata sent me all of their Etna wines a couple years ago, and I had this one, I had the 2017, and I was really impressed. This is kind of like their entry-level red Etna, which Etnas don't, or they're not cheap by any stretch of imagination. And that's my complaint. I think sometimes the wines can be a little bit pricey for what they are. But again, that's what you get in Burgundy too. This comes in around 30 to 35 bucks. The Château de Pommard. This is the Pommard Clos Marey Monge Micault 2020. 100% Pinot Noir. It's not a cheap wine, comes in around $100. And I know these wines are not the same vintage, but come on, give me a break. It's really hard to get samples of Burgundy. Almost impossible. So I know this isn't a super fair comparison, but I do want to see if I see any similarities between the two. With Etna wines, I have seen the similarities before in my mind, but I've never tasted them blind side by side. I'm tasting out of these Rovsya glasses. These are Pinot Noir Burgundy glasses. I bought these with my own money. I even like them so much that I bought a second set. And I found them to be the best inexpensive glasses that I've found here in America. I'll drop a link in the description box below so you can check them out. If you purchase them with that link, it really helps the channel out. And I know a couple of you have actually purchased them. Let me know what you think about them in the comments below. Let's see if this really is the Burgundy of the Mediterranean. Had somebody mix these up for me. I know a lot of times people are like, how do you know you're completely blind? I don't have a horse in this race. These tastings are just as interesting for me as they are for you. Let's get started with the one on the left here. Now, Burgundy, the Mecca. People really get seduced by Burgundy before its wonderful flavors. A lot of people don't realize New World Pinot Noir versus Burgundy. Burgundy can be quite rich and sometimes pretty tannic, and usually unfurls and gets better with age. Let's smell this one here on the left. This is rich. I would say that this is Pinot Noir right away. It just smells like it. Light cherry, violets, a little bit of smoke. There's some real depth, some real sexiness here. It just has that leather component that I mean the classic leather component that I really want in Burgundy. I haven't smelled the other one, but I'm guessing this would be Burgundy. That is good. So much leather, cherry, richness, tartness. Something about great French wines, man, they're just so integrated. That's what I think, unless it's the Donnafugata Etna, then I'll be really impressed. Let's go with the one here on the right. Wowzers, that's good. Okay, totally. The one here on the right, I think this is the Donnafugata, but it could pass off as a really high quality New World Pinot Noir. You know, I know that Etna producers might not like that. No, it's not Pinot Noir, it's Etna. Okay, I get it, but you're gonna get sour cherry, a little bit of violets, tart, earth, pepperiness. The thing about that is this just smells a little bit deeper than this one. It's almost like when you have two pieces of fruit and they're like fresh fruits and you're just trying to decide which one's riper than the other. You just smell, this one's a little bit more denser, a little bit more richer. This one, still very good wine. And I have to say it's holding its own against the Burgundy. Tart, more acidic. This is a very good wine. The only problem is, like I said, it's not a super fair comparison. I wanted to see if they were similar, but you're going up against this. This is darker too. This is just rich, dark, complex. Man, this is a hell of a wine. Not spitting these wines. I think this one here on the right is the Etna, and there's no shame in this game because I think the smell, it did smell like Pinot Noir. This is a Burgundy, and it is a village level. It is an expensive one at that, but man, I mean, this is why you know people get so obsessed with Burgundy. You ready? You ready? Let's go with the here, the one on the right. I thought it was the Donnafugata. Let's see here. It is the Donnafugata sul Volcano Etna Rosso 2019. Very good wine to me. 91 plus. No, Etna is very expensive. I think the only decent values are the Tenuta della Terrenere. I think that is about 25 bucks. If you can get this at 30 bucks, you want to get in, you want to try Etna for the first time, I think this is a very good wine. But you know, I know it wasn't a totally fair comparison. I just want to see how they were together. But this is a heck of a wine. The Château de Pommard, Clos, Marey, Monge, Micault, 2020. Younger, but also the leatherness, it's just different. 91 plus, to me, 94-ish. I mean, that good. So tell me, do you have experience with Etna wines? Do you think they really are kind of like the Burgundy of the Mediterranean? I'd love to hear. Drop it in the comments below. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.